Greetings and salutations, folks. I am back as promised with a cast for you. This will be hopefully a good game and a good introduction into a new era in FAF history. As I'm sure all of you have heard by now, FAF is not dead. FA is truly forever. It is now under new guidance with Visionik, and he is planning to turn it over to the community. So it's going to be a community development with the keys held by a couple of different people instead of by one person. So hopefully we will not have another drama explosion like the one that we've had over the last couple of days. All right. On another note, I need replays. I've pretty much burned through all of the good ones that I have received, and I know you guys are going to be playing a lot of games since you had a day or two where you were not able to play. So the most epic ones that you have, send them over to me. I need some casting material, and I would be happy to advertise your skills or lack thereof to the world. All right. Now let us jump into this terribly textured and awfully colored map that is, however, extremely fun to play. This is the Badlands. I'm sure all of you know it and love it and hate it. However it may be, we have Lord Gale as Cybran versus Hyro Protagonist as UEF. We're seeing a standard land first build for both. We've got land, double P-Gen, and then mexes with expansion for Lord Gale. No early aggression. And then we do have an aggressive early Hydro build for Lord Gale with some early manual reclaim to pick up the gap in eco. I kind of disagree with pushing your ACU over to the Hydro this early. It is feasible. You can see here that he is not going to stall, but it does kind of slow down your expansion a little bit. We can see Hyro Protagonist has already capped off far more mexes, and he is sitting in a much better situation power-wise. He's a little later on his Hydro, but he will get there, and then he has air planned immediately thereafter. Let's go ahead and bump the speed up here, and we will jump directly into this game and see where the action takes us. We've got a tank and scout pair. Actually, a whole lot of scouts and one tank. That is a good plan. Get some intel going, and then we do have Mantis out for Lord Gale. Those are going to shoot around the right-hand side and try, I am sure, to cut off any engineers over here. Let's see if we've got radar coverage. Very well done there. Exactly skirting the radar. Nope. The scout is going to trip the radar, so he is going to know something is there. And we do have a bomber out for Lord Gale. That is going to come down southwards, kind of dodging and darting around. He's looking for a target and is not finding any. And that thing is going to go on auto. But here comes an interceptor, and that is going to pick up that bomber. No problemo. He is going to lose that engineer. That is a sad circumstance. Going to have a little more trouble getting his expansion online on this side. But not too bad. The bomber, I would say, is probably not worth the mass that was put into it. Hyro is going to go right with the ACU. Lord Gale is going to go right, and Hyro is left. And we do have a nice push from Hyro Protagonist. He was able to get some extra land units online quicker. Again, I really firmly believe that the early game was much better for Hyro. This early Hydro hurt Lord Gale badly. And these tanks are going to have a heyday tooling around in the back of the base, doing whatever they dang well please, and they dang well please to take out that Hydro. That is a critical hit for Lord Gale. Well, no, I guess not. I am overstating that because he does have extra power in the back here. He is going to be fine. Alrighty, more tanks pulling around the left side. Hyro Protagonist is doing an excellent job here. A little mole sitting in the back. Hyro Protagonist is doing a very good job here of harassing, and normally you would say that the Cybran player does all the harassing because they have superior speed, but in actuality we're watching UEF do the harassing. Kind of a nice little change, beating those Cybran scum at their own game. When you do have a superior number of units, though, that is pretty easy to do, and here we're going to see a staggered line of Mantis being taken out by a blob of UEF. Micro is important, people. You need to keep your units bunched up so that you can effectively demolish any groups of units that get in your way. 50 tanks versus 50 tanks, the better grouping will win. We do have an edge-built factory coming up for both players on the left side. Nobody is going for the right as of yet. They both just up and decided to get on the left side at the same time. Hyro Protagonist is a little bit ahead of Nico here. He is power stalling pretty hard as they're both power stalling hard. Probably getting upgrades. Where is the ACU? That is the question. He is not getting an upgrade. That was strictly a power stall. Sad thing to see. Alright, it looks like, well, the ACU is over here, so I guess that isn't too bad of a situation to be in. He does have enough defense. Problem is the ACU is slow. For some reason, the ACU is assisting. No, he was building a point defense. That was an okay choice. I wish Hyro Protagonist would have pushed a little quicker on that side. That was a huge, huge potential strike lost. He could have taken out 3 mexes and gone all the way around the back side, but we are going to see a beautiful little... Nope, it is not a beautiful little run by because he forgot to put his move order further ahead with those tanks. So that was kind of a fail, but damage was done nonetheless. Hyro Protagonist is definitely in the lead now. He is pulling 90 mass as opposed to Lord Gale's 57. And the only problem is that Lord Gale has a jump start on Tech 2. He does have more rhinos out, and on a map that is as flat terrain-wise as the Badlands is, rhinos are going to do a fantastic job versus Tech 1. They are going to take out a good number of tanks with impunity. We do have a bomber trying to take out the radar, but denied by that plateau. Seeing some nice reclaim here from Hyro. I will check the reclaim numbers here. Let's slow down for a second and take a gander at what is going on the back end of things. Hyro Protagonist has reclaimed 6,600 as opposed to Lord Gale's 48. That is a significant advantage. Hyro is far ahead on eco. He is drawing more mass, he has more reclaim, he has done more. The only problem is he doesn't have quite as many units because of, I think he took a bit more drastic shift to Tech 2 and his production was offline very briefly. We are seeing a slight recovery by Lord Gale. We'll just have to see if he can maintain it. This is exactly backwards of what you see most games, of what you see happen in most games. Most of the time, it is UEF on the defensive against a raiding Cybern opponent, and then as the game goes on, the UEF overtakes them. But here we've seen the UEF do all the early raiding and then begin to slip as the game goes by, and Cybern is making the recovery. This is just completely mind-boggling, and it's happening because it's so strange. I love what I'm seeing here. Complete Medusa spam with some rhinos to clean up the mess. Medusas are an amazing tool against any other faction's Tech 2 and sometimes even Tech 3 depending on the situation and the range issues, but the Medusas do have the stun effect. As you can see, these things are getting stunned all over the place. When they're stunned, they can't do anything. So even though the Medusa does have low damage, it is a crippling effect. We're seeing some TAC missile launchers coming online up here on the cliff. Those things are going to casually fire down on that base, taking out a support factory, but really not a whole lot else. There wasn't a whole lot to fire at, so a little bit of a depressing end result there, but it is there nonetheless for area denial. And the UEF has rallied once again. They are pushing inwards, finally reaching a critical mass of pillars that can break past those rhinos. We're going to see a nice little engagement here. It looks like the Cyberns do have superior numbers though, so the UEF will be taken out, but that was a brilliant push. 4 mexes killed and a lot of units distracted over this direction, so there is a lot of potential for gain here for Hyro if he is able to pull it off. He is going to pull back though. Is that a Tech 3 commander or is that veterancy? That is the question. That is Tech 2 with veterancy. I don't know why I clicked through those menus to look at that. I could have just looked at the build menu, but you know what? I didn't. We've got a tack launcher on the cliff here. Unfortunately, there is already tack defense up. Not sure why that tack defense did not drop that missile. That was completely bizarre. We do have Tech 3 land online for Lord Gale. He is still behind in mass production, but if he can get some bricks online, well, Percival's are on the way, unfortunately. If he can get some bricks online, the bricks can do an enormous amount of damage as long as he can field them quickly enough. And you see it here, that amazing range that the brick has. It is able to kite the Tech 2 units and wipe them out at will. Totally immune to attacks from Tech 2. Tanks, that is. Completely outranging them. And Hyro is moving to the side. Not sure what his game plan is here, other than just getting Tech 3 and getting Tech 3 on the field. He is trying to snipe off some of the more important eco targets. That was a total waste right there, sending a tac missile after a Hydro. That is not worth the mass at all, my good sir. And over here we're seeing a similar situation. Mobile missile launchers are coming online, standing right on the edge of the cliff, not really able to hit any vital targets, but they are hitting some things nonetheless. Percivals are on the front. One brick is down, and these Percivals, if they are targeted correctly, there we go. That was an overcharge from the ACU, taking care of that brick. Well done, my good sir. And biting into the rest of the army as well. Almost dropped the brick as part of a quadruple with that overcharge, but the Percys were able to finish it off, so that is a done deal. I would love to see some of these Tech 2 mass extractors going down. Maybe the TML does not have the reach. That is the problem. Oh well. Alrighty, 25 minutes in, and it looks like things are kind of settling into a tiny bit of a stalemate. Gonna have to see something come about to break the pattern here. We do have a run by. Tech 1 tanks are still useful, people. Tech 1 running directly into the ACU though, so that is not as good as it could have been. But they are going to run towards the back nonetheless, and they will probably get this Tech 1 mass extractor for what it's worth. It's kind of like striving to no end to win a game of marbles. In the end, it doesn't really bear any consequences, but hey, it might be fun while you're doing it. I feel old. I just referenced playing marbles. Does anyone ever actually do that anymore? Or did you when you were a kid? Maybe I was just odd and had strange toys. I don't know. Cat's eye marbles were pretty cool when I was a kid. Alrighty. Not seeing any major developments in air, which is really strange. By this point on Badlands, usually there is Tech 3 air, but at the moment I am only seeing Tech 1. I'm actually not even seeing Tech 2. And immediately as I'm saying that, the Tech 2 factory comes online. You would think I was psychic or something, but I don't think that is the case. And here we have bricks versus Percivals. Unfortunately, the bricks have the numbers, at least until the reinforcements arrive. Got some tanks over here on the sidelines coming in. And then we do have roughly equal numbers over here. Problem is there are Medusas, so they're going to repeatedly stun these units and give them a slight disadvantage. Love this. Got Trebuchets online up on the cliff. That is going to give him a lot more range. He is going to be able to reach into the base now and take out some of this eco and build power. That is going to put a hurting on higher protagonists. Nothing too drastic, but overall it will help swing the game in Lord Gale's favor. Still seeing roughly 50-50 map control. Alright, we've got 38, 37 somewhere in there for Hyro Protagonist on the reclaim numbers, and 32 for Lord Gale, still 5k behind. Alright, what is the plan with these Tech 2 factories? It is gunships. Gunships are the end game, and they're going to come over here and try to raid on these trebuchets. Going to come back behind the protection of the cloud of interceptors. Hyro is without a doubt king of the air. Unfortunately, he was not able to protect the better part of his group of gunships, and the opportunity is wasted now because there are mobile flak online. That was a very hard hit on the left side there. missing a pretty large chunk of the expansions over there, but Hyro is still far ahead in eco, pulling 139 mass to 89 for Lord Gale, and he's also ahead in reclaim. See what the power situation is like. Horrendous power stalling and overflowing mass and power. So pretty much at opposite ends of the spectrum there. Okay. Seeing a little bit of everything this game. See, we've got engineers pulling into the back to assist this factory. Looks like he is still building Tech 1 interceptors, just at a much faster rate. And then we are seeing a push for the Tech 3 air upgrade. I am thinking Hyro Protagonist is probably getting RAS. That is exactly what he's getting. RAS is online. He is going to make a push for Tech 3 air, but it looks like he's already clinched the land battle. He has won it, folks. The last brick is going down. The Percivals are going to reign supreme once again, and this is the problem that you always run into as Cybern. Towards the end of the game, your units just are not sturdy enough to stand up to the UEF onslaught. Your only hope is either to win early or to gain air dominance in the end and win through superior micro and tactics. Unfortunately, Lord Gale really kind of peaked at the mid-game and was not able to pull out a win. And in the end, the might of the UEF Tech 3 army has crushed him. Very well played by both players, I gotta say. That was a solid game. There were some mistakes made by both sides. There were some good moves made by both sides. But overall, I would say that was a good game. So GG, folks. Alrighty, that is going to wrap it up for me today. That is the cast as promised, and I'm going to sign out here. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. And remember, play FAF and then send me the replays. See y'all.